Okay, so now we're getting ready to look at lab 6, which is the normal distribution. This goes with the lecture that you saw for chapter 5. In the first problem here, we're going to be looking for probabilities. When we're looking for probabilities, we're going to go to probability distribution, then normal, and then use cumulative probability. Remember, cumulative probability stands for area to the left or probabilities that are less than. Right, so let's open up Minitab and go to, close this a little bit, Calc, probability distributions, normal. We're going to do cumulative probability. The mean in number 1 is 0 and the standard deviation is 1, and we're looking for input constants. Remember, we only use input column whenever we have our values in a column. So input constant, and we're going to put in 1.50, and then the probability that if you have a value less than 1.50 in a population with a mean of 0 and a standard deviation of 1 is about 93%, 93.32%. We can also do ones where we change, like we saw in 5.3, where we actually change the mean and the standard deviation. So in this case, in part B, the mean was 100 and the standard deviation was 15. And our input constant in this case is 120. Click OK, and we're looking to find the probability of a value less than 120 is 0.9088. Don't forget to round correctly, and we normally take these probabilities to 4 decimal places, so 0.9088, or about 90.88%. Now, if we're looking for a value greater than, let's remind ourselves how to do that. Probability distributions, normal. In part C, we have a mean of 75 and a standard deviation of 10. And we're looking for a value greater than 80. So this is the probability of a value less than 80. So for greater than 80, the answer is 1 minus this value. So 1 minus 0.6915 is 0.3085. So about a 30.85% probability of finding a value greater than 80 when the normal population has a mean of 75 and a standard deviation of 10. Now, if we move on to number 2, in number 2, what we're looking at is cumulative probabilities, and we're looking for values. All right, so number 2, part A, we still go to Calc, probability distributions, normal. But if you're looking for a value, and remember, values are things where it says find the value or find the percentile. Those are all inverse cumulative probabilities. Number 1 has a mean of 0, number 2A, and a standard deviation of 1. And let's find the value that has an area of 0.1234 to the left. Just like the table, Minitab always wants the area to the left, so that value would be negative 1.5 or negative 1.16. If we're looking for area to the right, then we still go to Calc, probability distributions, and normal distribution. We're looking for a value, so we leave it here at inverse. And this problem, part B, says we have a mean of 100 and a standard deviation of 15. But now it tells us what value has an area of 0.1234 to its right. But Minitab wants us to put in here not the 0.1234, because they want the area to the left. So 1 minus 0.1234 is 0.8766. This is the area to the left. If 0.1234 is the area to the right on the bell curve, then the area to the left is 0.8766, or 1 minus 0.1234. So the answer is 117.37. We usually round values to 2 decimal places and probabilities to 4 decimal places. Then the last thing, you should be able to do the rest of them, just making the adjustments whether you're talking about to the right or to the left. The last thing to look at in this Minitab lab is assessing normality. So to assess, let's do number 3A. And to do that, we need to open up the BMI worksheet from mHealth. So I'm going to go to File, Open, and we want to open a worksheet. I've saved my Minitab data sets on my hard drive, so it's Minitab data sets, and I'm looking for mHealth. So let's open that up. Now I'm going to be using BMI, which is column 9. To assess for normality, we go to Graph, Normal Probability Plot, or Probability Plot. Click. We're doing a single. Click OK. And now I want to click in BMI and just click OK. We're going to get this. Now remember, what we're looking for is things to be on about a straight line and in between these outside lines. Those are those red ellipses that I referred to when we were talking in the lecture for chapter 5. This seems to be normally distributed. Outliers would be things that are outside here. We have no values outside of there. So in this lab, I would say no outliers, and yes, approximately normally distributed. Do the same thing for the rest of these. Okay, and you should find all of these on either the data disk that came with your book, or if you didn't get a data disk with your book, remember I put all the Minitab data sets on the portal for you. So that's the end of Lab 6. Let me know if you have any questions.